Welcome back to Some Kind of Fun, Episode 5. I'm joined by Gini Dodds, and she will elevate this to certainly one of our top 5 episodes.
It's a lot of
Gini,
pressure.
how are you doing tonight?
I'm good. As you know, I just came from the pool.
There you go. Love that it's finally summer in Minnesota.
Yes. Amen.
So, tell me about your start in music and how it all began.
Sure. Well, I grew up in Matamidi.
Okay.
And that was a small town of maybe 3,000 people, and there wasn't much to do. But I had a family that loved music, and Mom and Dad sang in choirs and community theater and all that.
Okay.
Grandma played the piano, Mom played the piano, I played the piano.
Yeah, I played the piano.
Sister played the flute. So there was always love of music in the household, but I didn't really do a band thing until right after high school.
Okay.
I played keyboards. I had a cheap $400 Roland keyboard from Torp's Music in St. Paul.
Nice.
And that band only lasted a year or so. And then throughout the years, I just more or less jammed with people, and then I picked up the guitar maybe in my mid-30s.
Okay.
Because I was not liking carrying around a big keyboard and stuff.
Sure.
And then finally I just decided to do it more seriously and put a band together, and that would have been the 90s.
Okay. All right.
And then kind of from then to now, been doing more of the band
So
thing.
I know one of your songs is about your sister, Sweet Christine.
Yeah.
And it sounds like she had an influence on your musical life.
She did. She didn't play an instrument herself, but she was that song sort of talks about how her life morphed in the 60s from kind of a mod 60s to the end of the 60s with an army jacket and anti-war and
Sure.
no bra.
Okay.
So it was a cool older sister where you could hang out in her room, and she had a good record collection.
Yeah.
So that's really, I love British invasion music. I like a lot of music, but all those 60s bands are special to me, and that's where I heard them first, in her room. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And speaking of the British invasion, you went to something with Ray Davies. Explain this to us, please.
That was so cool. I was a Kinks fan, and on what was back then called an email listserv of Kinks fans before they had social media, Facebook, and someone mentioned this course in England. He taught this course once a year, a songwriting course, and it was an old English manor in southwestern England on a sheep farm with no distractions.
Nice.
I mean, it was out in the middle of the nowhere, and we all stayed there, 14 students, for a week, Monday through Friday, and Ray lived there with us. He had his own cabin, little cabin.
All right.
But
yes.
we would meet about, get up, go have a morning session, get an assignment, go write that, come back after lunch, get another assignment, and then, so 3 songs a day you had to write.
Wow.
And I was like, damn. And I said to him, this is just...
But Dave
This is
wasn't
tough,
there,
and he
so they
said,
weren't
"Well."
fighting at the manor or anything.
No. I was like, damn, this is hard. And he's like, well, when in Rome. And I think his whole strategy was really good to get you constantly working and not waiting for divine inspiration to write, to work a little bit on it every day. And so after that, you came home and you're like, after 3 songs a day, you were really, it seemed really easy to just write one a week.
Sure.
So it was just that steady writing, and you could tell from him he loves songwriting.
Yeah.
He loved being there, and he was very kind to people and helpful and not at all a big star.
Oh,
And he bought us all a pint of beer the last night from the village pub, and it was just quite an experience. And yeah, I did write more after I came
okay.
home from that, and that's shortly after that had my first album out called Melodrama.
Okay.
And
And I noticed you did a song that was specifically from that experience
yeah,
at your show last Wednesday at
yeah, it
Palmer's.
was the first. I'd kind of half written it there in England, and then finished it when I got home. Extraordinary You,
Okay.
and that one was just about people who don't fit in, I guess.
Okay. Well, I've noticed that your songs, I love your songwriting, by the way.
Thank you.
And it's very emotional, and it always grabs me by the heart. Especially, of course, we'll forget things now, but the song about being kind to yourself
Sure.
is just so powerful, and
A little forgiveness.
little forgiveness.
That's from
'Cause
being a-
that's what I always forget to give myself, is a little forgiveness.
That's an ex-Catholic for you.
Well, I'm an ex-preacher's kid, so I have the same thing.
We weren't a strict Catholic family, though, but that's what you heard in church.
Exactly.
Going to confession when you're 7 years old. What could you possibly have done?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
That
but,
was so bad that you had to confess.
I notice, a lot of my songs seem preachy. Not in a bad way, but I'm kind of in the first pew,
Yeah.
They aren't typical love songs.
Right. Right.
I guess.
Well,
that's
and one
not-
of my favorite songs of yours is the one I've seen you close with a lot of times. And again, excuse me, I forget the name, but it's the one with the locket and the lighter and the pocket knife.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that, because I think it's a really interesting song and story.
It's that's called Spare Change, Lighter, and a Pocket Knife, and that happened. A young man jumped to his death from the Mall of America parking ramp,
Okay.
and he was. They didn't know who he was. He had no ID on him, and that's all he had in his pocket. The
Yeah.
title of the song, and it got my attention because I thought it was sad to die alone.
Yeah.
My older sister had committed suicide in '82 when she was 30 years old. So that, was in my history. And so I did call the reporter who wrote the article and found out about the funeral and went to the guy's funeral. There's just like 7 people there, kind of in the paupers section of a cemetery. And there were some veterans there because he must have had on a veteran
Oh,
pin
okay.
or something. And then I finally the reporter put me in touch with his parents.
Oh,
They'd
okay.
found out who he was, and
All right.
they were thankful about it, of course. And I got a picture of him, and he was just so young. It
Yeah.
broke my heart, really.
Yeah. So, upcoming projects, you've got Gini Dodds and the Dahlias, fabulous band with, of course, the brilliant Terry Isaacson on guitar, Bongo John Haga,
Yeah.
and right
Jeff
now
Wilcom is
Jeff Wilcom.
a extraordinary bass player, but has developed some arthritis in his
Yeah.
hand, so doesn't want to be playing a whole lot. So
Yeah.
both Kurt and I are without a bass player.
Yeah.
But Terry has been my right-hand man the whole time.
Okay.
He's, sometimes I refer to him as Dorothy's Scarecrow because he was my pal and kind of got the guys together to be in the band.
Sure.
It's been over 20 years now, I think, that we've been playing. So
That's great.
so that that'll continue.
Yep.
Once the bass player, I can also use Nick Salisbury, who played
He was very
with me
good
the other night.
Yeah.
Is incredible, but very busy.
Yeah.
And then the DeLindas,
Right.
you've seen, was a band Edie Baumgart put together to do all Linda Ronstadt tunes, like a tribute act. And that's Edie Baumgart, Colleen Martinoak, myself, and Becky Capel are the singers. And then Brenda Shepard, Mary Stone, Ellen Rice, and Rob Genetic on
Rob's
drums.
the token drummer.
Yes. Rob is the diversity inclusion drummer.
Exactly.
He's a great guy.
Yeah, he is. He is. And you just played with the Belfast Cowboys, right?
We did. We
up
opened for them at the Hook, and that was great because they draw a big crowd.
Yeah.
And, I think people really like harmony.
Oh, they love
'Cause
it.
to have four singers, they just go kind of apeshit over it.
And especially for
Yeah.
singers of that quality.
Yeah.
It's, I'll admit, I would never go out of my way to even listen to a Linda Ronstadt song, but I love the DeLindas. So.
I wasn't a huge fan of singers when I grew up.
Right.
When I was a teenager, I was more of like a rock band
Yeah.
type fan and didn't have Linda Ronstadt records, but in seeing her documentary and some interviews with her, I really like how she looks at things.
Yeah.
I think she's really bright, and
She had a chance to be the
had
first lady
great
almost.
taste in the music she chose to cover.
Right. Right.
Some of Warren Zevon and a lot of good songwriters.
And that Elvis Costello,
So I have her newest book that has a lot of Mexican food recipes in
wow.
it, and
Nice.
I'm gonna be trying to do a Spanish song of hers because I can speak a little Spanish. So
All right.
we'll add to that. But no, I wasn't like obsessed with Linda Ronstadt either. But
Yeah.
now that I'm in it, it's really fun.
Well, yeah. And I mean, you can't beat those
Yeah.
singers in that. I mean, it's incredible.
Right.
If you can appreciate good music, you'll appreciate the
Right.
DeLindas.
Right.
So, anyway. And things coming up this summer we should be aware of?
A lot of DeLinda's gigs right now.
Okay.
The Dahlias, we're in a hiatus, but
Okay.
we're doing the Capybara Lounge, at the
Okay.
Burns's place, and another private party, and then this other guy, Dick Cohen. I don't know if you know
Okay.
him. He lives in St. Paul. He blocks off the block
Okay.
and has music
All
that
right.
a lot of people come and hear that. And a couple
Nice.
things at the 331, and so we got some stuff lined up.
Good.
That'll
be
keep
fun.
me busy.
All
and
right.
then eventually I want to, I don't know if I have money for a new album, but I do want to do a single. I have a couple songs that I really want to
Good.
record.
I hope
Yeah.
that happens.
Yeah,
I look forward
me too.
to it. So, anyway, thanks so much for being here with us. It was a pleasure having you.
I'd like to thank you, Paul, because you're at a show every night. And I don't know if you know how much musicians appreciate that. Because,
Well-
really, the people who love music, they make it all worthwhile.
Well,
That's
thank
who
you.
it's for, really.
Yeah.
Because they're...
Well, I appreciate that, and I obviously appreciate the music. So, so thank you so much. I
Okay, thank
appreciate
you.
it.